Hey everybody, Dale Braswell here with our weekly Wedgwood update, just bringing you some important announcements and updates about the ministry of Wedgwood Baptist Church. A lot of it revolves around Sunday, January 31st, our last Sunday of the month of January. We're going to have a very packed day with a lot going on. We'll start out as usual with our worship at 9 o'clock, our missional communities at 10:30, and then later in the afternoon, we're going to have what we call an open elder meeting. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is that? This is basically your opportunity to come and to ask questions about the ministry of Wedgwood Baptist Church to our elder council. And so we'll have an open meeting that'll last about an hour and a half, and it's simply just going to be a Q&A forum. So whoever is there present, you can ask your questions, and our elder council will do our very best to provide you an answer to those. If you would like to submit a question beforehand, we definitely appreciate that. It gives us a little bit more time to process the question and give a better answer. You can just submit those questions between now and the date of January 31st to elders@wedgwoodbc.org. Now, following that open meeting, we'll have a reception for the Livelies. As many of you know, Patrick Lively became our student minister back in the summer of 2020, and normally we would have a reception for a new minister, but it was 2020, and so we didn't do receptions. So we're going to try to do that this year. We want to have his reception as a new staff member before his anniversary of coming on staff at the church. And so that's why we want to have it on Sunday, January 31st. It'll be at 4:30 in the gym, and we're just encouraging folks to come by, bring a card, maybe a gift card, to welcome them and to thank them for joining our Wedgwood family in this capacity. And so again, that'll be at 4:30. It'll be in the gym on Sunday, January 31st. And then we're going to wrap up the day with our church family meeting. That'll be at 6 o'clock, and we'll move into the sanctuary for that. And so that's going to be an opportunity to hear from some of our committees. It'll be an opportunity to hear from our staff, and looking back over the last quarter of 2020, and then looking ahead to 2021. What are we looking at over the next few months in some of our age-graded ministries and adult ministries, and some of the things that will be coming up? So you won't want to miss that very important meeting. And then the other big announcement is going to take place a few weeks after that on Sunday, February 21st. Many of you are aware that a couple weeks ago I talked about some of our areas of focus for 2021, the areas that we're going to be putting a lot of intentionality into throughout this year as Wedgwood Baptist Church. We talked about prayer and generosity and evangelism, authentic community. And then one of the other things is going to be dealing with this issue of racial gridlock. And as I mentioned, we borrowed that term from a book by the name of Beyond Racial Gridlock, written by a guy named George Yancey. Dr. Yancey is a sociologist at Baylor University and is the author of that and other numerous books that deal with just issues of racism, racial diversity, and does it through a lens, a context of Scripture, and uses the Christian philosophy and framework through which to address a lot of these issues. And so we're actually excited to have Dr. Yancey here with us on Sunday, February 21st. And so he'll be preaching in our 9 a.m. service. And then he's going to be available to do more of a presentation that focuses a lot of these issues during our missional community hour in the sanctuary as well. And then we're going to have him as well for a lunch following our missional community time. We'll meet in the gym. We'll have a lunch for anybody in attendance, and Dr. Yancey will be available just for a Q&A from our people. So we're really looking forward to having him here to be able to have a conversation about a lot of these issues that are obviously in our culture today, but are also within the church and need to be addressed from a biblical perspective. So definitely mark your calendars for that event as well. Now, this Sunday, we're going to continue our series that we began last week called Tell Me Your Story. We'll have another great opportunity to hear from one of our church members how God has been at work in their life. We'll be continuing our series as we look at the life of Abraham and what happened when God intersected and worked in his life. And so you definitely won't want to miss that as well. So we'll have our worship at 9 a.m. We'll have our missional communities at 10:30. So we look forward to seeing you this weekend, either in person or online. Have a great week.